comment for the opposition. I think in general, you should, as a judge, I can only listen to you can't bring up any new evidence in your rebuttal or your cross. And I think one particularly powerful part of your case could have been your alternative solution, which is induced pluripotent stem cells. But you actually first brought that up in your cross and then your rebuttal. So as a judge, I can't acknowledge that. So I think that was a kind of missed opportunity.
It was.
Oh, just kidding.
It's okay.
So in general, some tips on Crossfire. The goal in Crossfire, try not to bring up evidence in Crossfire. Make sure you're asking a question. I noticed both sides, there was stuff going on where you would bring up evidence in the Crossfire or ask a question in your case. Ask the questions in your Crossfire and evidence in your case. Also, I'd like to bring up a good example of what a Crossfire question is. You asked a question, is embryonic stem cell treatment affordable? And the other team wasn't able, the point of that was to get the other team to admit that no, it wasn't, or that there was very little, people who didn't have enough money for it couldn't afford that. So that's an example of a good Crossfire question, but I noticed that there was a lot of evidence being spelled in Crossfire otherwise.
Okay, good job both of you guys. You guys did pretty well. And I think a main thing that I noticed as a judge is your definitions of things weren't adding up. It was more of it was kind of jumbled. So for example, one of this was you guys didn't clearly define life. I noticed that this was since ethics came up a lot in this debate, life wasn't clearly defined for both of you guys. I feel like that's something you guys should have done. Also, if I'm being really, really picky, you guys were pretty good. But for oppose, you guys kind of switched your case and your rebuttal. So your case mainly focused on refuting their points. And I think the main argument for you, as Shrivut said, it should have been your IPS. That had a lot of potential to be a really, really strong argument. So that's just, yeah.
So just some general advice for both teams. Sources are generally used to really enforce your argument. So when you do have sources to back things up, we as judges can take that as credible information. But oftentimes when you don't bring up sources, it's kind of iffy and it doesn't create that big of an impact. So next time, remember to write down all your sources and say them after you said a fact that you learned from a certain website or a certain book. I noticed that both teams, there was very little note taking. So when the other team is speaking, it's really, really helpful to take down the notes so you can take down all the notes, exactly what they're saying, so you can refute it later. That's really, really helpful. So yeah, just a little.
All right, we'll now reveal the votes. Everyone has voted.
Make sure you just click on it once. Okay.
The winner is. Support.
Yeah!